We can see things way, way further. There's some wonderful work being done by Nathan Oakley and some UK teams where they're actually seeing a horizon behind oil platforms at 10.
A massive shout out of appreciation to Harry over in Sydney for his work exposing the Black Swan. I have actually mentioned his channel a few times, which is called A Fresh Look at Truth. I will put a link to his channel in the info box and in the comments section so you can check out his channel and all of his archive material which he's recently been going through. When I have spoken about Harry in the past, I've detailed how he's looked at the Black Swan based on his archive material that he's gone through on his computer and hadn't actually realised that he's got several Black Swan captures already on his PC, but has actually gone out yesterday, as far as I can glean from his most recent video, and captured yet another Black Swan. So at this point he's produced what I would call a really consistent, concise video showing a black swan, detailing why it's a black swan, and then explaining his concerns about other videographers, potentially on our own side, i.e. the flat earth side of this conversation, who don't necessarily understand the black swan argument. So in the past I've released a video that I think I called Black Swans Matter, sort of pun on Black Lives Matter, but he's essentially covering the exact same thing, detailing what a black swan is, what a white swan is, and why there'd be absolutely no necessity to change a black swan that debunks globe geometry into a white swan that doesn't, when the modus tollens argument's fairly straightforward and, as I say, debunks globe geometry completely. So another massive shout out to Harry over in Sydney. As I say, the link to A Fresh Look at Truth, which is his YouTube channel, will be linked below so you can check out all of his archive footage and his current video, which I'll play out now. So thank you very much to Harry. I've been really enjoying all of your work. Enjoy his presentation, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Hello everyone, this is Harry in Sydney. I want to talk about the difference between, there's so much confusion about this and I can't really understand why. It's the difference between black swans and white swans. And what you're seeing on my screen at the moment is a typical white swan. Okay, the horizon is at, that boat is sitting on the horizon right on 19.36 miles. There are plenty of other white swans in my collection. Okay, well, let's see if what else I can find. Here's another one here, sitting right there up on the horizon at around about the 19.36 miles from my 250-foot viewing height. Okay, and let's see if I've got any more. That one's inside the horizon, so it doesn't count. I'm just going through them. So a white swan is one that matches the globe logic, if you like, or their geometric sphere edge. So a black swan is something like this one that I caught yesterday. Now I don't see these things so much as flat earth proofs, but I know they are because the horizon is behind this boat. Okay, the horizon is in behind this boat, and this boat is 1 mile behind the geometric earth curve. Now that's what I call a black swan, and I know that a lot of YouTubers out there, flat earth YouTubers, have got lots of these black swans, but why would you call a black swan a white swan? Because a white swan is the glober's view of where the horizon should be. So, you know, we're trying to convert black swans into white swans. I am totally confounded by the logic behind this, because when you catch a black swan, it obviously defeats the modus tollens argument that with a sphere Earth of, you know, with a radius of 3959 miles, the observer, the horizon is governed by the observer height, by the square root of the observer height times 1.225, or whatever the globe gurus say. So the higher I go up, it is governed by those figures. But see, this one is not governed by those figures, and they say, oh well, it's the atmosphere. And the refraction in the atmosphere. Now there is refraction in this picture, but it's got nothing to do, because the horizon is still where the horizon is, wherever that may be. It's a non-place. But it's more about the logic behind the argument. And I think some people haven't quite figured that we're not fighting, we seem to be fighting amongst ourselves as to what's a black swan and what's a white swan. Well, it's pretty clear to me that a white swan is one that you see on days where the globers say, see, it's going over the horizon, there's the horizon, at, you know, blah, blah, and your boat's sitting here at 19.36 miles, Harry, blah, blah, blah. And then I come along and I have show them boats at 30 miles that are completely all there. And then we've got this particular one yesterday. Now, that boat is obviously stretched, because and there's some sort of atmospheric conditions going on there, but the horizon, the visible horizon, is behind that boat. And so when we look at it closely, we can see there's the water and there's the boat, and it's flattened out and stretched and everything, but the water's still behind it. Now that is a black swan. Now, I know that lots of you have got black swans, but why would you want to call them white swans? Just because you see more of these than you see the other? Look, I'd agree with you. I see more of these than I see the other. Because the reason that we see a lot of the other ones is because we're looking at a flat horizon, and our eye can only go with what we can see. We're looking into the z-axis. You know, it's a bit crazy. This is a fluid environment we're looking into. So obviously things are going to wiggle around a bit, but there's only one horizon. Anyway, I'm confused, and this video is for other flat earthers. I've got no qualms about the Modus Tollens argument for the black swan, because it makes perfect sense. It destroys the globe. So, you know, is this some sort of a pissing contest or something between flat earthers? You know, oh, we always see these things, we should call them white swans. Oh, come on, wake up, folks. This is an argument that destroys the globe. And I've always wanted to be honest with my things, and I've been swayed back towards the globe on a number of occasions, like probably a lot of people have. But it keeps coming through that we are seeing further on some days than we should. And there's no geometric explanation for it, except they're made up Santa Claus, unicorn geometry based on a radius, and then a radius made bigger, making the Earth bigger to compensate for any sort of movement in the horizon. So anyway, I'm flabbergasted by fellow flat earthers who don't quite get the idea. I'm not against any of these people. Yeah, I'd like to call them all white swans too, but they're not. White swans are these ones that keep on propping up to support their globe geometry, right? And so it's just not fathomable how people are sort of taking possession of the swans, if you like. You know, look, let's just use the argument in our favour. Anyway, look, thanks for watching.
Nathan Oakley, 1980. Follow his, he does flat earth debates every day, live streams flat earth debates. Anybody could get on and, and debate him, and he just demolishes everybody.